शंकर देवा शंभो शंकर देवा भोले बाबा महादेवा साई बाबा महादेवा शंभो शंकर देवा पाहि प्रभो शरणं देवा पाहि प्रभो शरणं देवा भोले बाबा महादेवा साई बाबा महादेवा शंभो शंकर देवा भोले बाबा महादेवा साई बाबा महादेवा पाहि प्रभो शरणं देवा पाहि प्रभो शरणं देवा हर हर गंगे महादेवा
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 ओम हर हर गंगे महादेवा
ओम हर हर गंगे महादेवा
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 ओम हर हर गंगे महादेवा
ओम हर हर गंगे महादेवा
भोले बाबा
महादेवा
साई बाबा
महादेवा
Sairam. Okay, a little bit better. With love and humility, I offer my humble salutations to our beloved Lord. Sairam, dear brothers and sisters. Sairam. The day when true devotees sang, "O God," chanting the name pleasing to the ears. The day when alleviating the hardship of the poor with love and being like brothers and sisters. The day when the group of devotees chant the name of God and are fed with delicious dishes. The day when great men approach, telling stories of God pleasingly. That day is the real day, and any other day is just an annual ceremony day. Sairam. That's a poem that Swami sings at the beginning of some of his discourses, which are like, put us all in a different state when Swami sings those poems. Well, a hearty welcome to everyone here. It is only by Swami's grace that we are all here today. We are so very fortunate to gather here, to sing the praises of the Lord, to hear the stories of his glory, and to serve him. We have a wonderful day planned for you today, and our theme is Life is a Game. And Swami says, life is a game, play it. If we follow our conscience, we stay in the game. All of this is a game for us to think of Swami continuously, to never stop thinking about Swami. That's the secret to the game. Life is a challenge, meet it. Never give up. Never, ever give up. No matter what you think of yourselves, no matter where you think you are on the spiritual path, this moment is a new moment, and you should never give up. No matter if you think you're last or you're first, give it your best every single moment. Be positive. Be optimistic. We have everything to be happy for. Realize that everything is happening for your own good, every moment. Life is a dream. Realize it. Remember the truth always. And what is the truth? The truth with a capital T. That all are one. Be alike to everyone. All of this is only one thing. It is God. If we remember that, so much comes from that one truth, the ultimate truth. Like life is a sacrifice. Offer it. Swami says, once all sense of ego is sacrificed to the Lord, given up to the Lord, the heart and mind are purified of ego attributes, and divinity can then be realized. So today's program, our theme is Life is a Game. We have Managing Director Dr. Niranjan Patel speaking first, after me. Then we have Miss Aparna Chaturri. She's the Regional President of Region 2, which is the Mid-Atlantic region. Very much looking forward to hearing her speak. And then we have a game, if you will. I think this will all make us smile and think of Swami. A game by our National SSC Coordinator, Miss Aparna Murali. I'm looking forward to that too. And then we have, how was it put? Delicious dishes for a lunch, Swami has for us. And after lunch, we have a wonderful, I'm really looking forward to this part of the program. The young adults will have a performance, and they've been practicing a long time. I'm looking forward to it. And finally, not finally, but we have an SSE program after that. The children have been practicing and practicing. That also is some performances. And then finally, we have our own Dr. Narendranath Reddy, chairman of the Sri Sathya Sai International Organization, to, I'm sure, put everything in a bow at the end. And so finally, then we have our closing prayers, some announcements, and some closing announcements, bhajans, and prayers in that order, and then finally cutting of the cake. So that's our program today. I'm sure that our program will go very well. I just wanted to say that, and I'll close with this, bring up Greg Slee, who's our MC. All of this is designed for us to think about Swami. Focus your hearts on Swami this entire day, and it's a sadhana. We get to be together, we get to work together, we get to be happy together, and it's a chance to celebrate our sweet Lord's his birthday, but more than that, it's a chance for us to never give up and always be moving towards the goal. Lots of love to everyone, and welcome.
I offer my humble pranams at the divine lotus feet of our dear Lord Bhagavan, Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Welcome, everyone. What a fantastic day. What a beautiful satsang. This is going to be just joyful, joyful. So, welcome to Sai Prema Nilayam on this day that we observe the 98th birthday of Sri Sathya Sai. Thank you very much, Eric, for the very beautiful opening words. Yes, life is a game. And no matter what the cards are that we may have been dealt, no matter if these cards are good or bad, these cards that we hold in our hand, that we have for this lifetime, Sai Baba says one thing: regardless of all that, one-pointedness and concentration on our spiritual work is vitally important. And regardless of the cards that we hold in our hand, Baba says that all people are endowed with unlimited powers. Not a single person is without them, but the road is missed when one is unaware of this truth. To gain awareness of this power, we must join the company of the holy. One must strive in spiritual practice, our sadhana, and one must practice the repetition of the divine name and meditation. It's very important. And so today we find ourselves in very, very good company. In fact, our Heavenly Father himself. It doesn't get better than that. We're doing very well today. And as devotees, we have a longing for the supersensory spiritual life. It has aroused in us a fundamental need to live a dharmic life, a life where human values mean everything, and the need for lasting joy. But Swami says, mere longing for this will not grant success. Spiritual exercise has to be undertaken, and that's what we're going to be able to achieve today, just a little bit, all of us together, working on it together. And we'll have many chances today to chant his divine name. Some of us may feel that we don't deserve to have joy and peace of a spiritual life. We feel overwhelmed by the burden of worldly responsibilities and anxieties. We may find ourselves unable to pray to the very highest. Everyone must, and this is what Baba says, his words exactly, everyone must desire and adopt every means to attain not only joy, but what is far more valuable, peace of mind, and an ideal, exemplary life. And how to do this? Well, we transform ourselves, and this is Swami's gift to us on his birthday. So now it is time for me to introduce to you all my very good friend, Dr. Niranjan Patel. He is the director of the Sathya Sai Society of America and chair of the Sai Prema Nilayam Management Committee. The topic of the talk, if you know Niranjan, you would probably already be able to guess it, but it is how to celebrate Swami's birthday the right way. Jai Sairam. Let us please welcome Dr. Niranjan Patel.
Sisters and brothers, Om Shri Sai Ram. Welcome to our beloved Swami's 98th birthday celebrations here at Sai Prema Nilayam, the abode of divine love. Swami has unequivocally declared that my real birthday is the day I am born in your heart, the day you experience that you and I are one. In short, we need to reach enlightenment. Swami, what a huge dilemma you have placed us in. Will we ever be able to celebrate your birthday in the way that you wish us to? Swami, when you tell us about beings who reached you with a rare burst of intensity and focus in only a few seconds, or maybe a few days, we are thrilled, elated, our hopes rise, but soon the euphoria dissipates. Brothers and sisters, whenever we face a quandary like this, what's our way out? Pray to Swami. Please close your eyes, hands in prayer position. Dearest Swami, on this, your 90th birthday, please shower upon us thy choicest blessings. Bequeath us with a simple formula to follow. And if we make sincere efforts to follow thy command, dearest Lord, please deem us worthy of celebrating this and all of your future birthdays. Please open your eyes. And what is Swami's answer? The best way to celebrate my birthday is to be like my Hanuman. Be like my Hanuman at Sai Prema Nilayam, in Region 8, in every nook and cranny of the world. Hanumanji touches our hearts as very few can. Hanumanji is easily the nearest and dearest to Lord Ram, perhaps the most charismatic, intriguing, lovable, and awe-inspiring character in the entire Ramayana. We all know, don't we, how precious Hanumanji is to our Lord Sai Rama? The tallest statue in the whole of Puttaparthi, on Vidyagiri Hill overlooking Sri Sathya Sai Hillview Stadium, is Hanumanji. That says it all. Installed on his 65th birthday, it is 65 feet tall. It's a marvel of structural engineering which was made possible only by Swami's personal guidance and intervention. Hanumanji is the very personification of service, devotion, and wisdom, of seva, bhakti, and jnana. His love and loyalty to Lord Ram is legendary. His strength and powers unimaginable. Ever ready to serve Lord Ram, his innocence and enthusiasm were always infectious, and he gave courage and inspiration to all. And Hanumanji's bhakti was equally beyond compare. Well before any Akhanda bhajans, every hair on Hanumanji's body was engaged in Akhanda chanting of the Lord's name. Ram, Ram, Ram. Hanumanji also reposed the highest spiritual wisdom, for he alone could confidently say to our sweet Lord, at the physical level, you are my master, and I am your servant. At the mental level, I am a spark of thy divine self, but at the atmic level, you and I are one. If we are to follow Swami's injunction to be like my Hanuman, we must first recognize that Swami, our Lord Sai Rama, is the heart within the heart of Sri Hanuman. We can only reach Swami through Hanumanji, by being like Hanumanji, by becoming Hanumanji. As a child, Hanumanji leapt into space to eat up the sun, thinking it was a juicy fruit. Lord Indra intervened to protect the sun and struck Hanumanji with his powerful thunderbolt. Seriously injured, broken jaw and all, Hanumanji fell back down to earth. Enraged at seeing his child hurt so gravely, his father Vayudeva began to take back all the prana out of the universe. To avoid an impending catastrophe, Lord Brahma, Lord Indra, and many other devas showed remorse and comforted and calmed Vayudeva by praising Hanumanji as a very special child and blessing him with incredible array of extraordinary powers. Having received these powers, Hanumanji was still a child. And child Hanuman was quite mischievous, often oblivious of his strength. For sheer fun, he used to harass saints and sages, interrupt their yagnas, and sometimes he threw entire trees into their ashrams, causing untold disruption and chaos. Children will be children, but for that, Hanumanji was cursed to forget that he had all those powers. Once he forgot, how could he use them? Fortunately, the curse had an expiration date. It would be broken the day he would be reminded of who he really was and what boons the deities has bestowed upon him. Picture now the moment when the Vanasena, scouting endlessly in search of Mother Sita, reached the vast ocean. It was the only thing standing between them and Lanka. The mood was sober. Everyone was demoralized and dejected. Even the normally ebullient Hanumanji had become eerily silent. They were so near Lanka, yet so far away, and the possibility that they would fail in the mission to rescue Mother Sita loomed large. They felt disheartened, for they believed there was no one amongst them who could cross the ocean. Just when everything seemed so hopeless, the most unexpected happened. The wise Jambavanji, one of the very few who knew about Hanumanji's curse, reminded Hanumanji who he really was, the son of the majestic Vayu and Anjani. And with great relish and gusto, Jambavanji recounted a litany of the immense powers and strengths that Hanumanji possessed. Lo and behold, the curse immediately lifted. And this became the turning point for the success of the Lord's mission. Increasing his size multifold, Hanumanji, with a mighty roar, Jai Shri Ram, took a mighty leap and reached Lanka. The rest is history. Brothers and sisters, this context is extremely crucial to understanding why Swami has told us, be like my Hanuman. It's because we have forgotten that only by being like Hanumanji can we reach Swami through seva, devotion, and jnana. We have forgotten that we are destined to be Swami's Hanumans. We have forgotten the crucial role he wants each and every one of us to play in his divine mission. But again, as always, we silently protest Swami, but we don't even have a small fraction of Hanumanji's powers, how can we be your Hanuman, Swami? Swami's reply is swift, it is stern, it is robust. Stop using your monkey minds. Start using your Hanuman hearts. Do not even for a second underestimate the blessings I have poured upon you. And then Swami lovingly jogs our memory. I have bestowed upon each and every one of you the greatest power of all, the supreme and unparalleled power of divine love. With this power, you need no other powers. It is this power of love, your power to love, that is most needed on Mother Earth at this time in history. So when Swami says, be like my Hanuman, he's not setting us an impossible goal. Look around you, sisters and brothers. For the past 2 years, glimpses of Hanumanji have emerged at Sai Prema Nilayam. Very dedicated devotees serve our Lord Sai Rama here at Sai Prema Nilayam with the utmost humility and intense love for Swami. Some drive 2 to 3 hours each way just to be here every Saturday. The overwhelming majority work quietly in the background, whether it's preparing Mahaprasad or tea, whether it's singing bhajans like our simply spectacular young adults, or managing the audio system, or even designing a new audio-video system. Whether it is helping in our sandwich seva for the unhoused, providing warm clothing for 2,000 children, or guiding our precious and precocious ACC children. Whether it is ensuring our shrine is kept pristinely clean and enhanced by the most beautiful array of flowers and bouquets. Whether it is selflessly completing countless repairs, maintenance improvements, or whether it is making sure aartis are done here every morning and every evening without fail. Add to this the unbelievable generosity of these devotees, which enables us to keep Sai Prema Nilayam vibrant and operational. The depth of their love is indeed boundless. I ask you, if all this is not being like Swami's Hanuman, then what is it? This leads to the next question. What about the rest of us? What should we do? For starters, let's commit to come more often for Swami's darshan. On your birthday or your child's birthday, come and receive Swami's blessings. Let's make greater effort to attend our regular Saturday programs. When you do, you'll get the amazing opportunity to hear angelic bhajans and participate in satsang and seva with the exemplary devotees here. Hanumanji had to cross a vast ocean to complete the Lord's mission. He had to face many devious traps, dangers, even horrific demons. What about us? We just have to get in the car and start driving to Sai Prema Nilayam. Swami has also given us the added bonus of that time coming and going. That's the precious, priceless time that Swami has given us, where we can exercise our spiritual muscles through satsang and bhajans. And all this in complete safety. Yes, I know many of us do feel weighed down by so many other responsibilities. And we say, I really want to, but we just don't have the time. If we make time for Swami, Swami will make all the time for us to do everything else. How many times does Swami have to remind us? If you do my work, I will take care of yours. Test him, and then demonstrate the unshakable faith in our Lord, as Sri Hanumanji did. Is it not true that if we really want to, we can do at least a little bit more for our Swami? Let's start with that. Let's be inspired by the devotees. If they can do it, so can we. Between Swami's 98th and 99th birthdays, many marvelous and innovative programs and activities are being planned. To every devotee of Shirdi Sai Baba and Swami, whether you attend a Sai center or not, Swami says, you are vital to the development and growth of Sai Prema Nilayam. Be an active part of Sai Prema Nilayam and accelerate your journey to Swami. Don't miss out on these opportunities to lay the foundation for what will become a world-renowned pilgrimage center. Take an active part now, and you'll be able to say to your children, your grandchildren, even your great-grandchildren, I was there when it all began. I was there as Sai's Hanuman to help make Sai Prema Nilayam what it is today. Brothers and sisters, since Swami's 97th birthday, Swami has given us a year like no other. We have had once-in-a-lifetime Pran Pratishtha ceremonies for Bhagavan Sri Shirdi Sai Baba, for Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. We have had an astoundingly successful International Sai Conference on Love and Service under the very astute leadership of Dr. Narendranath Reddy, supported by a really wonderfully experienced international team. Let's give them a big hand. This fall, we've also started SSC classes here. We have about 32 children now. All of Region 8's devotional events were hosted at Sai Prema Nilayam. The most recent one, of course, being the Akhanda Bhajans. Those of you who were here, you know that they were absolutely unbelievable. Our Saturday programs have reached a very high quality. Our Sandwich Seva has crossed the 6-month benchmark, and we hope to soon expand it to help the homeless children in the local school district. Our sisters have had a ladies group meeting as part of the Dasara celebrations, including the chanting of the Lalita Sahasranamam, a powerful prayer for the spiritual emancipation of humanity. Ladies' Day, of course, as you all know, will take place on December 9. For physical improvements, our plans include a beautiful Sathya Sai, Sri Sathya Sai gardens filled with flowers, plants, trees, and fountains, and also a Prema playground, especially for children, and of course for all those who are young at heart. And our exceptional Region 8 officers, the management committee members, subcommittee members here have also poured their hearts out to Swami at Sai Prema Nilayam. So have so many Sai Center officers and devotees by happily taking up responsibilities at each Region 8 program. No wonder the momentum is accelerating. The excitement is building. Sai Prema Nilayam is growing in leaps and bounds, something that you remember Sri Hanumanji is famous for. But a lot remains to be done. So I extend an appeal to you. Be a part of this coming year's progress so that 1 year from today, on Swami's 99th birthday, we all can say to Swami with the utmost humility and sincerity, Swami, you commanded, we obeyed, we did our best to be like your Hanuman. Sisters and brothers, with Swami's blessings, the time has come to awaken the prana of Hanumanji in us in all its glory and grandeur. Victory to the brave and courageous Hanumanji. Please join me. Anjaneya Veera Hanumanta Shura Anjaneya Veera Hanumanta Shura Vayukumara Vanaravira Vayukumara Vanaravira Anjaneya Veera Hanumanta Shura Anjaneya Veera Hanumanta Shura Vayukumara Vanaravira Vayukumara Vanaravira Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Sita Ram Jai Radhe Shyam Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Sita Ram Jai Radhe Shyam Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Sita Ram Jai Radhe Shyam Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Sita Ram Jai Radhe Shyam Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Sita Ram Jai Radhe Shyam Anjaneya Veera Hanumanta Shura Vayukumara Vanaravira Anjaneya Veera Hanumanta Shura Vayukumara Vanaravira Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Sita Ram, Jai Radhe Shyam. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Sita Ram, Jai Radhe Shyam. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Sita Ram, Jai Radhe Shyam. Anjaneya Veera Hanumanta Shura. Sisters and brothers, when Swami addresses us, life is a challenge. Meet it. He's addressing the Hanumanjinas. Let us all unflinchingly resolve to serve Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba's mission with a single-minded intensity and love as never before. Let today be the turning point where the Lord's mission at Sai Prema Nilayam takes off on a trajectory which is speedier and speedier, and which will lead us directly to Him. Brothers and sisters, a golden age will dawn only if we implicitly follow Bhagavan's dictum. Be like my Hanuman, be my Hanuman, and celebrate my birthday the way I want you to. Dearest Swami, as a solemn promise to you to do our absolute very best this year, please accept 3 Jai Sai Rams from deep within our hearts. Brothers and sisters, unleash the Hanumanji in you. Don't hold anything back. Make this solemn promise as strong as we possibly can. Jai Sai Ram! Jai Sai Ram! Jai Sai Ram!
Sai Ram, we can always count on Dr. Niranjan Patel to educate and inspire us. He said, did you hear that? And I think I did. So, a great talk. And speaking of Hanuman-like qualities, our next speaker has traveled all the way from New Jersey and probably braved LaGuardia Airport just to get here. And that speaks just in itself quite a bit. She feels very grateful to be blessed and to be born into a Sai devotee family. Her grandparents came to Swami in the late 1950s. Her family has been actively involved in the Shivam Seva Samiti activities in Hyderabad. And as a toddler, Arpana was blessed with her first darshan of Swami on the auspicious Ugadi day at Shivam Mandir. But her personal journey into Swami's fold started only in the mid-1990s, and since then she lived in various cities in India and the US. She's been actively involved in the Sathya Sai organization, irrespective of where she lives. She's been experiencing Swami's constant presence, love, protection, and guidance in her life. Aparna has served as the service coordinator and center president for the Sri Sathya Sai Center of Manhattan. How about that? And served as the regional vice president of Region 2. She's currently serving as the regional president. Professionally, Aparna works as a management consultant and lives in New Jersey with her husband, Nilayam. Let us please welcome Aparna Chituri.
our beloved Swami's lotus feet, and I pray to him to inspire my thoughts and my words. Sairam, dear brothers and sisters, and wish the Divine Swami and all of you a very happy birthday. It's such a joy to be here with all of you and to be celebrating this beautiful festival. I was coming here this morning with my namesake, Sister Aparna Murli. And as we were driving here, it just felt like we were driving to Puttaparthi, all the hills, the warm sunshine, and then we walk in here and we hear Vedam chanting, and I'm just filled with love, Swami's love. The altar is spectacular, and the bhajans were phenomenal, and we started off the day with such a high note with the talk that we just heard about Hanumanji's seva attitude and how we should all aspire to be like him. So this morning, as we were getting ready to get here, there was a book lying down on the table at Sister Aparna's home, and it's actually one of my favorite books. It is called My Beloved, and it was written by Charles Penn. He is originally from Australia, but he lived here very much so in California. And I just picked up the book, and I was just randomly browsing through some pages, and then one page caught my attention. And it was so apt for the program today. So I'm just going to share a little snippet. And this page was titled, His Gift to Us. And it was an excerpt from Sanatana Saradi from December of 1968. And one particular paragraph was so appropriate, and it is as follows. On his birthday, we should all count his gifts to us. The list is endless: faith, hope, understanding, compassion, sincerity, selflessness, happiness, love, to name just a few of them. There is one other gift that Swami gives to all of us devotees. This gift is very precious, the gift of friendships. And what does he ask of us? Only to share with him the bliss we reap from these presents. So we're all here in his presence, and this satsang is his gift. So let us bask in this gift today as we enjoy celebrating his loving presence for 98 years in our life. I also wanted to wish all the sisters here a very happy Ladies' Day in advance. It's coming up tomorrow. What a beautiful place to be to celebrate both occasions. When Brother Eric called me about this talk, the first question I had for him was, what is the topic? And he said, life is a game, play it. And I thought, okay, I've never spoken about this topic. So I started thinking about this quote in full. Can we please move to the next slide, please? And as I was reading this quote, I was thinking, why this particular line, from the whole quote, right? It could be life is a challenge meted, it could be a life is a dream realized, it could be anything. But why this particular line for me? And then it hit me that I'm somebody who takes things very seriously. So Swami was here giving me a hint to lighten up, to have some fun, to see things from a lighter note, and just to be adventurous and carry on with life with that adventurous and fun attitude. So when we think of game, right? How many of you have either played a game or a sport? Can I see a raise of hands? Really? chess counts, checkers counts, video games count. So now can I have a show of hands? How many of you have played a game? Great, awesome. We have a lot of experts here then, so we don't need my talk then. Just kidding. So when we hear about this word game, some thoughts come to mind, right? It just feels adventurous, brings a smile to your face. There's happiness, there's joy. So Swami wants us to go about with our life with that attitude. That is what my takeaway was when I was given this topic. And then I prayed to Swami. I got here earlier in the week and I was sharing with Sister Aparna that I'm not prepared. Here I am, but I don't know what I'm going to speak over the weekend. And she said, you still have time, just immerse yourself in Swami's love and he will find you the words. And that's exactly what happened. I immersed myself in just contemplating on our beautiful Lord's love and his constant loving, guiding, protecting presence in my life. And he led me to 4 words on this topic. Can we go to the next slide, please? And the first word that came, that was actually put into my conscious, was the word rules. When we think about game, if we don't know the rules, then we don't know what we're going to do, right? So we need to understand the rules first before we play any game. And it's similar with life as well. We need to understand the code of conduct, the foundation, the human values, the rules that we have to play by. What happens if we don't play by the rules? What happens if there are no rules? Anybody would like to take that? Chaos. Yeah, absolutely. Right? There's mass chaos. There is, an opportunity for people to get hurt, right? And it's not pleasant experience for anybody, those who are playing and those who are watching, right? So it is so very important to understand what the rules are and then abide by those rules and play by those rules. If we do that, then we have an amazing game that not just we ourselves, but everybody who's watching the game is also enjoying it. So that is the first word, rules. And Swami says that the rules are meant for us, right? In life, the rules are meant for us, not for anybody else. Can somebody please read this quote? Can I have a show of hand? Would anybody like to read this quote from the screen? Yes, please go ahead.
Why do we need all such controls and regulations? Many inquire whether such regulations are necessary, even on the spiritual path. A small example of this to illustrate this point. A plant will not grow just by watering it. It is necessary to protect it by building a fence around it, thus preventing any damage to it by animals. Once the plant becomes a tree, we would not need any fence. In the same way, we have planted the sapling of spirituality in us. There are so many forces in this world which try to attack it. In order to protect this sapling, we have to have some regulations in the form of a fence. When it fully grows and bears fruit, we do not need any of these regulations. By that time, it would be a total sarva sangha parityagi, total renunciant. But before becoming a sarva sangha parityagi, if you do not practice this discipline, you will make no progress. Divine Discourse, November 21st, 1980. Jai
Thank you
Sairam.
so much for reading that. So it is our own benefit to have these rules for our own upliftment, for our own progress, for our own discipline. And Swami is giving a beautiful example of a tender sapling, right? So we are all these tender saplings that he wants us to blossom into these beautiful big trees. And until we blossom, these rules are necessary to protect ourselves, to make sure that we survive and grow into these beautiful trees. So that was the first word that Swami has given me, rules. Any guesses on the next word? Aparna, you're not allowed to guess, and Brother Eric is also not allowed to guess because they've heard and seen the slides. So any other guesses? What else, when you think about a game, what else comes to mind? Discipline, which is also part of rules, right? Goal or objective, yes. Anything else? Winning. That's a good one. We'll come back to that. Fun, yes, absolutely. We'll focus, empower, yes. So let's hold that thought there. The second word is roles. We just said, somebody said, named a role here. So roles are very important, right? We should understand what our role is in the game. We should also understand what other roles are in that game. In that picture that you see, can you recognize the roles? Can we go back one slide, please? So there's 3 roles that are in that picture. And anyone can recognize what they are? Player, coach, and referee. Very good. So each has a distinct role to play in the game, right? Each one has a distinct responsibility in that game. The player should follow the rules and should learn from the coach, from the teacher, and should obey what he is learning from that teacher, right? Even in life, we have to obey the teachings of our beloved teacher, Swami, the avatar of avatars, the teacher of teachers, who's come here for us, to guide us, to teach us. So as players, it is our responsibility to obey his instructions. What happens if you don't obey instructions? Absolutely, you get disqualified, right? So again, everything that we do is for our own benefit. It is not for anybody else, but for our own upliftment. So roles are very, very, very important. And the role of a teacher is the most important role, because they are not only guiding us, but they're also constantly challenging us, right? To grow, to become better versions of ourselves. And all the roles that have been placed in our life have been placed only for that one reason of self-transformation. Whether it's somebody who's being very nice to you or somebody who's being not so nice to you. Everything is a lesson, right? It is meant for our own uplift. If we keep that in mind, then this game of life will be joyful. If we think otherwise, we'll kind of brood on things and we dwell on things and we just lose that sweetness of being in the present moment. So roles are very important. Can we go to the next slide, please? So as I was preparing for this talk, I went for a walk. And I was thinking, oh, Swami, you gave me these 4 words. So I think I'm good to go. And then I see this van parked across the road, and it says, if better is possible, good is not enough. So the Guru is constantly challenging you, right? The teacher is constantly wanting you to think beyond what you're capable of, to be a better version all the time, constantly inspiring you, challenging you in that direction. So roles is the second word. I want you to remember, I'm going to ask at the end of the talk what those 4 words are again. The third word is the most important one. Any guesses? Teams, yeah, that's a good one. Practice. Perfect. So the third word that I have for you is rehearsals or practice. Right? Without practice, nothing is achievable. From the time we're a baby, everything is practice. Our speech, learning a language, learning to walk, everything in life takes practice. And with practice, anything is possible. Right? The picture that's up there is synchronized ice skating. It is so beautiful to watch. Everybody is so perfectly synchronized. And it's not easy to, just even move a few steps on ice. I've tried ice skating, by the way, and I know how hard it is. But to see, the players glide so beautifully, so seamlessly, effortlessly, takes so much practice, intense practice. And so much interest and passion and commitment to that practice, uninterrupted practice, right? To get to that point of delivering so beautifully. So practice is the most important thing in a game and in the game of life as well. Swami talks about sadhana, right? The word for spiritual endeavor. And he says it should be uninterrupted, constant, with full heart and full devotion. We have a little audio clip of Swami himself talking about sadhana. Let's listen to it.
జ్ఞానాత్ కర్మ ఫలత్యాగి త్యాగశాంతి అనంతరం. ప్రతి ఒక్కటి కూడాను మనము ఒక అభ్యాసంతోనే మనం సాధించాలి.
You can achieve anything by practicing constantly.
ఒక పాట పాడాలంటే అప్పటికప్పుడు పాడలేవు, అభ్యాసం చెయ్యాలి.
You cannot sing instantaneously, immediately. You should practice.
నడచడానికి కూడాను అప్పటికప్పుడు పరిగెత్తడానికి వీలు కాదు, కొంచెం తప్పుడు అడుగులు వేసి తిరిగి నడచాలి.
Talking also must be practiced slowly.
కనుక ఈటింగ్ ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయి, వాకింగ్ ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయి, రీడింగ్ ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయి, రైటింగ్ ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయి.
Walking, talking, writing, reading, everything is out of practice.
అదే రీతిగా కూడాను నీవు సర్వీస్ కూడా ప్రాక్టీస్ గా తీసుకోవాలి.
You should also practice service.
భగవత్ చింతన కూడా ఒక ప్రాక్టీస్ గా తీసుకోవాలి.
We should practice everything for that matter.
ఆ విధమైనటువంటి దీనిగా తీసుకొని కట్టగా పెట్టి సర్వకర్మలు భగవత్ ప్రీత్యార్థం.
Like this, you can dedicate all your activities to God.
So Swami's own words about the importance of practice, right? Everything in life is practice. And he says that you will tumble and fall while you're learning to walk. So there will be failures, there will be challenges. But that doesn't mean we should stop. We should keep at it, keep at it, keep at it. And then one day we will realize the goal. So the most important of all these words that we've heard so far is rehearsal, practice. The final one, any guesses? There is a theme here, if you notice, right? Rules, roles, rehearsals, are, results, right? So the next word is results. Are results in our hands? Yeah? Not necessarily, right? We can control the efforts, but we do not have control over the outcomes. But if our efforts are sincere and tireless, then they're definitely going to bring about the rewards that they deserve, right? And I love this picture where we get to see who's in charge of the results here, right? Who's delivering them. So I have a story to share about results. And this is way back from spring of 2007. That was my first job out of college. And I was very, very drawn to management consulting. I just finished MBA and I always wanted to get into management consulting, and that was my dream job. And Swami gave me an opportunity to work in that field. So I was working with this company called Bearing Point, based in Chicago. And I was working there for a couple of years. And I've gotten a little complacent in my job, right? I've received good reviews, and I was doing very well. So I've gotten a little complacent in that role. And then in 2007, our company started seeing some challenges. That was the beginning of some issues in the company. Our CEO quit. We had a new CEO. Some of the senior positions were kind of, leaving the company. Just the beginning of indication of some troubles. But I didn't pay attention to it because I was complacent. So then one Friday, out of the blue, we get on a phone call with the group leader that I was working in. And he says, we are dissolving our group, and we're gonna kind of let everybody go. So we had like a couple of days of notice. And at that time, I was on a visa, on H-1B visa. And if you've been on that visa, you know that you'd have to leave the country pretty soon if you don't have another job. So I was in that situation, and I was shocked because I just did not anticipate or see this coming. And I didn't know what to do. But at that very time, my mom was visiting from India. My sister was going to school in Kentucky, and my mom, wanted to see both of us. So she was visiting us. So my mom was with me. Swami makes sure that, that we have support that we need at, times of need, right? So my mom was there, and, she said, don't worry, whatever Swami wills will happen. So she was constantly, calming me down. But I was like, Mom, I have a lot of student loans, I need to repay them, and this and that. And she said, whatever happens, we'll figure it out. Don't worry, we'll figure this out. So that gave me a lot of comfort. And then I started thinking, okay, I have 2 days at work before I have to leave. I'm not going to find a job in 2 days. It's impossible. So I prayed to Swami, and I asked him to show me a way out of this situation. Then one of my dear friends from school, she also lived in Chicago. She visited me that day. She heard what happened. She came over, and she said, why don't you just write a letter to the head of your consulting division and just ask him for some time, tell him your situation. And she said, do you remember he actually came and spoke in our college when we were students? And he was the one who kind of inspired you to get this job. So why don't you write to him? So I said, okay. I'm not going to lose anything, so there's no harm in trying. So I wrote him a very nice email. I thanked him for the opportunity to work in that company, and I told him that it was because of him that I joined that company. And I told him about my visa situation and said, all I ask of you is the courtesy of a 2-week notice that I feel any employee deserves. Can you please give me 2 weeks so that I can start looking for a job? And I didn't expect, that he would even reply to my email. I just thought it's a trial, right? But you won't believe it. Within 15 minutes, I got a response from him. And he said, I'm very sorry to hear that this has happened to you. And I will work with the Human Resources Department, and we will get you a 15-day, extension. So I thanked him for that. And Swami gave me a lot of strength. Brother Niranjan talked about unleashing your inner Hanuman, right? So he gave me that kind of strength that I needed at that time. And I just went all out, and I started applying day and night to different companies. 15 days, it's not easy to get a job. But I started applying. I started, day and night. I sent like maybe 500 applications. I was pinging everybody that I know. And I was working super hard. I thought, at least from my side, there should not be any deficiency in effort. So I put all the efforts that I could possibly put. And then I got a few interviews, and I was attending them, but nothing was materializing, right? It's too quick for any company to give you an offer. So things were in the pipeline, but there was nothing in hand. But I kept going. And something beautiful happened in the meantime. People in my company that did not know me at all were actually rallying for me. They heard about my situation through some sources, and I would get really nice messages every day saying, hey, we are with you. Can you send your resume to this person? Can you talk to that person? So out of the blue, so many people would reach out and give me all these contacts to reach out to. So I started applying more. I started meeting more people. All I would do from morning to night was just reach out to people. And I did this for 15 days. I still didn't have a job. And I was getting close to that 15th day. I didn't know what to do. I prayed to Swami again. And I said, Swami, I'm doing the best I can. I don't have an offer. What do I do now? And then I get another idea. I have 15 days of vacation that I have not used for that year. So I'm entitled to take a payment for unused vacation or use that vacation, right? So again, I write to the head of the company and I say, you've been extra kind to me. You've been very, very generous. I have one more ask of you. And I said, I have these extra 15 days of vacation that I have not used. And I heard from HR that they are going to do a payout of that duration. Instead of doing that, can you keep me on payroll for another 15 days? That would be an immense help. Can you please do that? He replies immediately, and he says yes. And I was in tears. That kindness and that support and love that was pouring through so many people that did not know me was just Swami working through all those people at that time. So he gives me another 15 days, and I keep at it. I work, day and night. I flew to New York for some interviews. I came to Boston. I was all over the place. Anybody would call, I would just go. I was so desperate because I felt like I didn't want to depend on my parents. I want to pay off my loans on my own and be self-sufficient. So I finally landed with an offer within 30 days with another consulting firm. I was not very happy with it because somehow I didn't like the kind of policies that they had within the area of consulting. But I thought, okay, it's a short compromise. I'll have to just work there for a few years until I can figure things out. So I thought I'll just compromise and take this job. And I told my mom, I told my sister, I told my dad, I said that it's not ideal, but it'll keep me in legal status and I will be employed gainfully. So I'm just going to go ahead and take it. So I have to return my laptop, my badge, everything at work on that Friday. So I was sending my thank you notes to everybody, thanking them and expressing gratitude for all the support and help that I received. And I sent a note even to the head of the company and thanked him. And then, as I was writing the last email to send to everybody in my group, I get a phone call from my boss, the guy who fired me. So I thought, okay, he's calling me to ask if I was returning my laptop and everything. So I just picked up the call. He's a good guy. It was out of his control, right? The whole group was being dissolved. He didn't have anything against me. So I picked up the phone and he said, so what are you doing? I said, I'm writing my last thank you note and then I'm going to go to the office and drop my stuff off and see everybody and come back home. He said, how about that? And he started laughing. And I thought, this is so insensitive. Here I am so emotional, writing my final thank you note and goodbye note, and this guy is laughing on the phone. And he says, why don't you trash that note? So I said, excuse me? And he said, yeah, you heard me right. Why don't you trash that note? And I said, okay. And he says, Aparna, you won't believe what happened. You just achieved a miracle. And I said, what did I do? He said, there's another group in the company that's based in the UK but has operations in the US, and they're doing pretty decently, and the head of that group wants to hire you. And I was in shock. This was unheard of in the history of the company. Anybody that was let go was never hired back. It was pure grace that this happened. And he said, I don't know what to tell you. Nobody else got rehired. Here you are. And he said, you don't have to return your laptop. Go celebrate. Do what you want to do. And I just started bawling on the phone. I just didn't have any words. And then, 2 days later, my sister has a dream. Swami appears in her dream and says, your sister worked so hard. She worked so hard. And he said, I wasn't happy that she was compromising on her job, so I decided to change her fate and give her another opportunity. So, so the results are, the results are truly in his hands. He can change our destiny any which way he wants, if he sees our sincere effort and if we play by the rules. So I was very, very grateful that Swami did this for me. And then I decided, okay, I should not be complacent. It's great that I have this job, but I should still keep looking. I should, find another job. Swami did this for a reason. He gave me the wisdom to think that way. So I started looking for a job, and then I landed in my current job, which I love. I've been here for 15 years, and I just love what I'm doing. I love the people. I love the company. So I landed in this job, and I took this job up at the end of 2007. And then in 2008, there was a huge financial crisis. The stock market crashed, and the company that I worked for previously, Bearing Point, went out of business, and tens and thousands of people were out of jobs in a very bad market, and they were not getting placed. So even though Swami did this, it was for my own good. That gave me an opportunity to actually be alert and look for another job and find something before the market crashed. Otherwise, it would have been much more difficult, and I would have been out of status, and I would have been in a very bad situation. So I'm truly, truly grateful. Whatever happens for our own good. We may not realize it when we are going through it at that time, but in hindsight, we know what Swami's plan has been all along, right? He knows the past, present, and the future of every one of us, and He knows what is best for us. It may be a bitter pill when we have a fever, but we need that bitter pill at that time, and He will give us that bitter pill so that we can become better. So with that, I come to the conclusion of my talk. I have a little poem to share with you that was inspired by Swami, and that actually became the topic for this talk. If you could please show that, I would like to read that to you. The title of the poem is the title of the talk, Life is a Game, Play It. I was invited to speak in Region 8 for our beloved Swami's 98th birthday. The topic I was given was Life is a Game, Play It, and I prayed to him for guidance on what to say. He could have given me any part of the quote to speak on, but he knows what I needed to ponder upon. Life is a Game, Play It had a more fun and joyful note when compared to the rest of the quote. It seemed to me as if he was trying to convey that I need to lighten up and accept things happily as they come my way. I smiled and told him that I got the cue. He laughed and assured that he will always give me what I need and come to my rescue. I know that every word of his is true, so I felt grateful for his constant presence through and through. He brought my attention back to the talk that was coming up in a day or two, and rules, roles, rehearsals, and results were the 4 words he pointed me to. I asked him to elaborate and help me understand each of these words and their significance in the context at hand. Rules set the foundation, framework, and code for every game, said he. Without them, chaotic at best, everything would be. Learning and understanding rules is the first step in the game. Providing a safe and enriching experience for those who follow them is their purpose and aim. Roles are meant to teach lessons, challenge, and help us grow. They help smoothen the rough edges and make the character shine and glow. Rehearsal or practice is the key to excellence, which does not always equate to success from a worldly sense. Results, which is winning or losing, are numbers on a chart. It is the learning and personal transformation that sets a player apart. Keeping these 4 words in mind, play the game, treating success and failure as the same. If played in the spirit, the game will be fun and be filled with joy that not just the player, but everyone else can also enjoy. I thanked him from the bottom of my heart for his inspiration and his constant loving care, and for giving me this opportunities to learn, reflect, and share. Thank you, Swami, and thanks to all of you for giving me this opportunity. Jai Sai Ram.
You reminded us all that there's so many gifts that Swami has given us, and that we should go through life with a joyful attitude while observing the rules of the road and the rules that Swami has given us, like to love all and to serve all. Just that one rule alone gives us all joy in and of itself. You also reminded us that our sadhana should never be interrupted, that we should always focus on that, and that our Heavenly Father always stands at the ready to shower us with grace. The thing that impressed me the most was the fact that each and every one of us can change the arc of our destinies simply by turning to Him when times get rough, doing our sadhana, doing a little bit extra sadhana, unleashing our internal Hanuman, as she put it, and things change dramatically so. So fantastic, and it's always great to see that happen for other devotees. It just means it's so much more real for all of us. We can do that and change things for the better. Now, we're still in the Life is a Game portion of the day. After lunch, the theme will change a little bit. We're going to focus on Life is a Challenge. But while we're in the Life is a Game portion, we're going to try something completely different with all of you. But before I get that, I've been told just to let you know that there's a black Toyota out there in the parking lot. It's a Avalon, and the license plate says Kampala. So we think you are not from Riverside, but probably from the Sai community, and the engine is still running on that black Toyota. It's been running for a little while. Just that is yours. Might be good to turn off the engine. All right, so now it is time for something completely different. We're going to play a game. It's called a Kahoot. Now, you might think that's in a musical instrument, but it's actually a game, and it's an interactive type of quiz that we're going to use our smartphones for. And it's going to be led and presented by our very own Aparna Murali, who is our National Education Coordinator, and she's going to be assisted today by Darshana Balakumaran. Let us please welcome Aparna Murali.
Happens when plans change. So we should be flexible. That's also part of the game. If we can have the slides, please. Yeah. So while they're setting it up, I'm so glad all of you got to meet my favorite Aparna. It's been fun to have her for the past few days. We're going to play a game called musical chairs instead of Kahoot. We thought that, that'll be helpful. But everything about this is not what you think it's going to be. So typically for musical chairs, we are all standing and we have to move around and chairs are taken apart. But this is a game where you can sit and play musical chairs. So something different, atypical. The other thing that you're going to hear me say is something that you have never, ever heard be told, either in a Sai event or any other event, which is, please take out your phones. Because we need your phones. If you don't have a phone on you, you can share a phone with your neighbor. That is okay too. So this is another, change in the game, which is you don't have to play solo. You can play with your neighbor. And if your neighbor doesn't have a phone, then you can raise your hand when we ask the questions and still play the game. So we are not limited by technology. Right, Vimala Auntie? Yeah, awesome. So let's see if we have... So we have the slides. So this is, these are very, very simple questions, but we are celebrating Bhagavan's birthday, and it would be wonderful to know how much we know about his own life. So all the questions are based on his life. This is one way of, having a birthday party. We get to know a little bit more about the birthday. We can't say baby or boy, but the birthday God. If we can go to the first question. All right. So at the bottom of the slide, to the right, you see a link that you can put into your browser. And if I can request Anand to say it out in the mic, please, the poll EV.
So the link is pollev.com/SciYA USA360. So pollev.com, POLLEV/SAIYA USA360. You can also text SciYA USA 360 to 22333.
And as you can see, I didn't set this up, the YA set it up. I'm technologically challenged myself. So the first question is, according to Bhagavan, who is the first recipient of an avatar's grace? We have 4 choices. The first choice is Mother Earth. Second choice is the midwife who delivered the avatar. The third choice is avatar's mother. And the fourth choice is avatar's father. And if you're having difficulty logging into the website, it's okay. If you think it's the first choice, raise one hand. All right, we see a few hands up. If you think it's the second choice, raise your hand up. No hands are up, or one hand is up. If you think it's the third choice, raise your hand up. We have more hands up, wonderful. If you think it's the fourth choice, you can raise your hand up. Okay, so by consensus, the answer is the avatar's mother, and you are right. If we can go to the next slide, please. So Swami, when he was speaking with devotees one time, he had asked Mother Ishwaramba the secret about his birth. And Swami had revealed that it was, he asked Mother Ishwaramba to share what happened. She was standing by a well, and there was this light that came and entered her body. And so Swami said that only an avatar can decide who the mother will be. And that person is the first recipient of God's grace, because for 9 months they get to experience that proximity to the avatar, which nobody else can get. And throughout his life, Swami demonstrated, and this is something that is very unique to this avatar, and the only other avatar that I can think of where mother had such a prominent role in their life was Jesus and Mother Mary. But here Swami gave his mother such incredible importance. You can't think of any other avatar where the mother's life is celebrated, and that is on May 6th. We celebrate that day as Ishwaramba Day. And interestingly, Mother Ishwaramba's name when she was born was Namagiri Amma, and after marriage, Swami's grandfather gave her the name of Ishwaramba, which was very fitting. Okay, next question. If we can have this slide up. Okay. So I'm going to have Anand read out the question for me because the screen is at an angle.
Question is, name of the prayer composed and sung by Bhagavan during the school assembly in grade 5 in Urvakonda. So the options are Manasa Bhajare Guru Charanam, Prema Mudita Manasikaho. Okay, this is some Telugu that I'll have to. Aharaha Tava Ahavan Pracharita.
Very good, Anand. You get points just for trying.
And love is my form.
Okay, so if you think it's the first choice, please raise your hand up. Manasa Bhajare Guru Charanam. If you think it's the second choice, Prema Mudita, raise your hand. If you think it's the third choice, which is, I'm not going to try it either. And if you think it's the fourth choice, love is my form, raise your hand. Okay, so of course Dr. Reddy got it right. He raised his hand. It's the third choice. So Swami, when he was in 4th grade, used to lead the school prayer in Uravakonda, and he composed this song. If we can have that slide up, please. If we can have this slide in full, yeah, fantastic, thank you. So Swami composed this song, and he's a middle school child, right? But look at the meaning of the song, where he's saying that, from that young age, Swami has been emphasizing the unity of religions. He has been not only emphasizing, but he has been creating that awareness to all the children in that school, 4th and 5th grade. All the children in that school, that whether you're Hindu or whether you're Muslim or you're Christian or Buddhist or even Parsi, we all come together and stand around the throne of God, and we celebrate that power of love. Just as a very young child, Swami composed and sang that song, and he said in 5th grade when he left Uravakonda, when the mission started, the first day when the person was switched, Swami talks about this in his discourse, that the child who was selected to sing this song instead of Swami broke down and started crying because everybody was missing him. But a very powerful message starting from such a young age. And not only that, if you read about Swami's life, nowadays, I don't know the latest boy band, maybe it's K-pop, but there was NSYNC, I think Rachna will agree. When we were growing up, it was NSYNC, and then it was One Direction, and then Gangnam Style, and now K-pop. But Swami, for me, he started the first boy band, which was the Pandari Bhajan group. So Swami was really into arts and culture and promoting through various way of bringing people into the path of spirituality. Nothing was not spiritual. Everything was spiritual for Swami. Yeah. Next question, please. I'm going to enlist Anand.
When was the first hospital built by Bhagavan? November 1991, October 1956, July 1968, or January 2001?
Okay, so let's see a show of hands for November 1991. All right, we have a few hands up. How How about a show of hands for October 1956? We have a few more hands up. How about a show of hands for July 1968? We have a few more up. And how about January 2001? No hands up. Okay, so at least we are all clear that Swami started the hospital much before the 21st century, so that's good. So if we go to the first choice, which was November 1991, that was actually the super specialty hospital in Puttaparthi. October 1956 was the first general hospital in Puttaparthi. Swami had laid the foundation 2 years before that, in 1954, and in 1956 was when the hospital was started in Puttaparthi. There were 6 beds for the men and 6 beds for the women. There was an operation theater, there was an L&D, and this was something that was unheard of. But I think of Swami as a physician at a much, much younger age. There was a time when Swami's grandfather said he was more than 100 years old, and he didn't want to live with his children, he wanted to live by himself. And he said, he told his sons that, I want to live independently, and they were all worried about him. And they said, you can't live by yourself. So then he said, well, if anybody has to live with me and take care of me, it should be Sathya. So Swami used to live with his grandfather, and as a 7-8-year-old, Swami used to make the best rasam. And there used to be a queue outside of the hut because somebody got ill, and rasam is a tamarind soup with lentils sometimes, with tomatoes and some spices. So somebody who was not feeling well showed up and said, can you help me with my ailment? Swami made the rasam got popular. So every evening there would be a long queue outside of Swami's grandfather's house. Everybody was waiting for Swami's rasam. So he has been a healer, except, instead of Tylenol, he just made rasam, but starting at a very young age, and you see the trajectory. Rasam as a young boy, a general hospital as a young adult, because he was in his 30s, 1956. He was exactly 30 years old. And then in 1991 was the first super specialty hospital in Puttaparthi, and in January 2001 was the second super specialty hospital in Bangalore. You just see how from a very young age, Swami has been setting his goals and rules and defining his roles. Yeah? Next question, please.
So how is love to be cultivated? In which Vahini did Bhagavan reveal the 2 methods by which love can be cultivated? Vidya Vahini, Gita Vahini, Satya Sai Vahini, or Prema Vahini?
Okay, can we see a show of hands for the first one, Vidya Vahini? All right, Anand is brave, he's playing along. Thank you, Anand. Can we have the answers back again, please? Thank you. Second choice, Gita Vahini. All right, we have a consensus again. Third choice, Satya Sai Vahini. And the fourth choice, Prema Vahini. Okay, excellent. So some things are very evident, right? Like, for example, love. Everybody can understand love. Good. So if you think about the Vahinis, again, something very, very unique about this avatar. I struggle to write an email. Sometimes I do applaud Dr. Reddy for the emails he sends, because one email announcement I have to write, it can take me at least 2 hours because I'm thinking about it, right? But here, Swami started writing the Vahini back in 1958, when Sanatana Sarathi was first published on the occasion of Shivratri in February. I'm kind of like a Sai geek. I love facts, so this was like a perfect assignment for me. 1958, every month, Swami would sit down, he had a desk in his room, he would write 1 chapter. And guess what? He did that for more than 25 years. from 1958 to 1984, every month, that's over 300 months. And that series of writing became the Vahinis. So there's a total of 15 Vahinis. And I highly encourage you to go and, read through them. They're very simple, very, very simple, each Vahini, but they have tremendous wisdom in them. The question about how love can be practiced, the two methods, I'll just share the first method, which I feel is very practical and very relevant, which is don't focus on other people's faults. When you stop focusing on other people's faults, it's very easy to love them. Such a simple solution that Swami has given, but just remarkable, breadth of work. Swami has done healthcare, he has done educare, he has written, he has given countless number of discourses, all to make our life worth living. Yeah. Next question, please. Oh, this is a good one.
What were the names of the two dogs that were devoted to Bhagavan? Lucky and Mickey, Jack and Jill, Chestnut and Peanut, or Scout and Keto?
Actually, somebody in this audience has two dogs with the names Scout and Keto, and Lucky and Mickey as well. So these are all real names. They're not something that I just conjured up. So let's start with the first choice, which is who thinks it's Lucky and Mickey? Nobody. Who thinks it's Jack and Jill? Oh, wow. We got a great audience here. Third choice is Chestnut and Peanut. And the fourth choice is Scout and Keto. Okay. So Swami's, the name of the dogs, next slide, please, is Jack and Jill. Surprisingly, Swami had a lot of pets. He truly embodied love for all. He had number of dogs. Jack and Jill were just, one pair that he had, but he had more than one pair. We all know Swami's elephant, pet elephant, Sai Gita, who came to him as a baby. I remember the first time I visited Puttaparthi and I saw Sai Gita, I was just so in awe. I was like, what a cool God. He has an elephant as a pet. It can't get cooler than that. And I was 8 or 9 years old at that time. He also had a lot of deers. This was in Brindavan, the ashram that was in Bangalore. There were lots of deers. And he used to kind of, joke with the students saying those are deers and these are deers. He used to make a pun on the word, deers and deers. And then in Brindavan, they also had birds and rabbits as well. So just, really sweet. Swami is demonstrating love for everybody. Next slide, please.
Which year did Bhagavan announce the celebration of Ladies' Day? 1981, 1995, 2000, or 2006?
Okay, let's see a show of hands for 1981. We have a few, all right. Thank you, Sai Arav, for participating. How about 1995? This is a very well-informed audience. How about 2000? All right, thank you, Kandar Bhai. And 2006? No hands, okay. So the first Ladies' Day that Swami announced was November 19th, 1995. And, again, a very unique characteristic of this avatar, the importance that he gave for women's rights, very progressive God. The first educational institution that he started was for women in Anantapur. That was in 1968. And he would, the students, he would allow them to chant the Vedas, something that was very unheard of. Typically, women don't chant Vedas. And people who were not of, if they were not from the Brahmin caste, they couldn't chant the Vedas. But Swami said, no, this treasure is available for everybody. And you think about the opportunities that he gave for women to serve. Even in the organization, when the organization was first started, he had a separate wing for women. It was called the Mahila Vibhag. He gave so many opportunities, and he said women have equal right to spiritual life. And they have an equal right to serve in the society. They have an equal right to spiritual knowledge, and they had equal right for education. That was the trend that Swami was setting, and he took it up a notch by saying, we are going to celebrate Ladies' Day. Just such a progressive God. Yeah. Next slide, please. And I think I lost my partner here.
You did.
Okay. This is a fun question, and the last question. Which is Bhagwan's favorite car? This is a tough question as well, and these are all cars that Swami actually had. I'm not making it up. I know Rachna's favorite is Mercedes-Benz. So Mercedes-Benz, Beamer, her husband Arvind drives a Beamer, so they have this competition all the time. And she's nodding her head in the back. Toyota Prius and Morris Minor. I had to look up Morris Minor. So let's start from the top. Who thinks it's Mercedes-Benz? All right, we have a few show of hands. Who thinks it's a Beamer? Okay. Who thinks it's a Toyota Prius? Of course, Vimla Auntie's first. She was the first person to get the Prius. And who thinks it was Morris Minor? Okay. So if we can go to the next slide, please. And this is the last slide, actually. So there was this family who were in an interview room, and it was a mother and a son, and the son was maybe 7 or 8 years old, and he was very afraid to engage with Swami, so Swami was kind of nudging him and encouraging him, and he was saying, like, you can ask any question that you want, and he was still feeling very shy to ask Swami questions. And then finally, it's a little guy. He said, Swami, what is your favorite car? And the mother was mortified. She was like, oh my gosh, God is giving you a chance to ask questions, and you're asking such a silly question, which is, Swami, what is your favorite car? And then Swami said, Morris Minor. I don't know if the car that was in the picture, I don't think that is Morris Minor. But that was the picture that was available. So I know there are a lot of, car fans here. So I do want to disclose that it's not Morris Minor, but it's a British make. And Swami talked about Morris Minor, how he used to drive Morris Minor to Madras, and how he got his license, and how exciting it was. And this little guy is like just getting into it. Like he was like, oh my gosh, how cool is that? Swami driving a car, and how fast he would go, and how quickly he would reach Madras. And then there was this exchange going on. And then finally Swami told this little boy, if I give you a car, will you take it? And then, he's warmed up enough now to Swami. So he says, of course, Swami, I'll take if you give me a car. And then Swami said, will you give me your car? And the little guy was kind of puzzled. He was like, I'm only 8. My mom drives me around. I don't have a car. So he's keeping quiet. He doesn't want to say anything. And then Swami lifts his hand. He touches his heart, and he says, that is my car. Will you let me be your driver? Right? So, musical chairs. Swami has said that we go through relationships like musical chairs. People come and go. But all he wants is just one chair that is your heart. He doesn't want any other chair other than your heart. So on this day, as we play the game of life, may we just reserve this chair, this heart, only for him. Thank you, Sairam.
that was so insightful, funny, interesting. It was exactly what we wanted for our game for today. And that wraps up the Life is a Game portion of today. And it brings us to a special moment where we say on the program that lunch it is a delicious delight. That is just in a few short minutes. We're going to come back after lunch at exactly 10 minutes past 1. So 1:10 sharp. And that's when we're going to pick up with Life is a Challenge. In the meantime, I just wanted to let you know, for those who are new to Prema Nilayam, the men's dining room is on the right-hand side there, and the ladies' dining room is on the left, and we eat separately. Okay, it's now time for the food prayer. Jai Sai Ram.
Marpanam Brahmahave Brahmagnau Brahmanahutam Brahmaivatena Gantavyam Brahmakarma Samadhinaha Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Dehamashritah Pranapanasamaयुक्तः Pachamennam Chaturvidham Om Shanti Shanti Shanti